The series begins with a girl starts a live stream inside her school, crying for help and claiming a teacher tried to assault her. Simultaneously, a male student confronts a teacher, mocking her for not reporting his actions and stating he loved her before brutally attacking her with a sharp tool until she loses consciousness. 2 years later, the same student repeats this violent scene with a different victim, instructing him to greet his fiancée and tell her he used to worship the ground she walked on. To understand these terrifying levels of cruelty, the story traces back to a student named D, who faces severe, relentless bullying and dreads attending school. Upon arriving one day, D witnesses his friend Suan standing on the roof of the school building. Before D can intervene, Suan jumps and ends his life. In shock, D remembers how Suan had finally decided to stand up to Lin, the school's most powerful bully. Lin's father is a prominent politician running for president, making Lin feel completely untouchable. When Suan resisted, Lin used his father's influence to ruin Suan's family and turn his school life into a living hell, driving him to suicide. Instead of feeling remorse, Lin and his gang immediately target D as their next victim. A gang member beats D in the hallway, while other students watch silently out of fear. Suddenly, an unknown man delivers a powerful slap that sends the bully flying. Lin arrives to defend his friend, and mockingly reminds the stranger that physical punishment is banned in schools. Ignoring him, the stranger beats the bully further to teach him a lesson. When the school administration intervenes, the man introduces himself as Jin, an inspector from the newly established Korean Bureau for the Protection of Education Rights, a committee authorized to use physical force against bullies when words fail. The principal warns Jin that many students have powerful parents, particularly Lin, but Jin dismisses the warning, noting that society collapses when teachers fear students. Entering his assigned classroom, Jin orders the students to do 15 push-ups to awaken their conscience regarding Suan's death. Lin proudly refuses and invokes his father's name, but Jin slams Lin's head onto a desk, forcing him to comply. During recess, Lin tries to restore his reputation by bullying others, but Jin deliberately trips him with a tea tray, spilling it on his face, and humiliates him further by placing a floor mop on his head. At home, Lin complains to his father, only to find Jin already sitting in their living room. Jin subtly threatens the politician by pointing out how a public bullying scandal would ruin his presidential campaign. Jin then drags Lin back to school by his ear. In a fit of rage, Lin later beats D brutally. Reaching his breaking point, D contemplates jumping from the roof, but Jin catches him by the collar, challenging him to face his problems instead of running away. Meanwhile, Lin's father pressures the Minister of Education to dismantle the committee. The minister claims he cannot interfere, but the next day, extensive documents leak, exposing the politician's corruption, fraud, and harassment. As the politician flees the press, the minister confronts him, revealing he orchestrated the downfall over several years to establish the Protection Committee and clean up the education system. Without his father's protection, Lin becomes the target of the same bullying he inflicted on others. Driven to madness, Lin attempts to burn down the school with gasoline. Jin easily subdues him, lighting a fire to show him the terror Suan felt before ending his life, but ultimately extinguishes it, leaving Lin to live with his guilt. Lin and his clique are arrested, and their photos are posted publicly as a warning. Following the resolution of the case, Jin visits the grave of his late fiancée, Choi, who was the daughter of the Minister of Education. As the press attacks the committee for promoting violence, the minister publicly defends it, citing rampant harassment, addiction, and the collapse of teacher authority. The next case takes Jin to a technical high school run by student gang, where a new transfer student named Bong is immediately robbed. The school is controlled by Park, Bum, and an overarching gang leader named Hyuk, who runs a local bar and exploits the students. The teachers live in fear of daily courtyard brawls. Park brutally beats a student named Lee, simply because Lee wants to study and secure a job to support his struggling mother. Bong comforts Lee and listens to his story. The next day, it is revealed that Bong is an undercover inspector working for Jin. Bong lures the unruly students into the courtyard, where Jin locks them in and soundly defeats them in combat. Jin establishes an intensive academic schedule and uses the bullies' own methods against them to restore order. When Park and Bum corner Lee again, Jin traps them in a bathroom, but they escape through a window to summon Hyuk. Hyuk arrives on a motorcycle with his gang, which was exactly what Jin anticipated. Jin beats Hyuk and his men thoroughly in front of the students, destroying their illusion of power. Terrified, Park and Bum beg for forgiveness, and Jin forces them to apologize to Lee, who breaks down crying. The minister announces strict new laws penalizing bullying and banning motorcycles inside schools, while Hyuk and his gang are arrested. Throughout these events, Jin flashes back to Choi, who always believed teachers must guide students. She was murdered by her student Oh, who claimed extreme attachment to her and received a lenient 4-year sentence as a minor. Jin had initially tried to kill Oh in revenge, but the minister stopped him, promising to create this special committee to fight school violence instead. Bong presents a new case involving Huang, a student with over 600,000 social media followers who uses her platform for manipulation. When her math teacher, Yoon, tries to confiscate her phone, Huang uploads an edited video, falsely framing Yoon as an abusive bully. When the vice principal tries to intervene, Huang tears her own clothes outside his office and posts a video claiming he assaulted her, ruining his life and driving him to suicide. Teacher Yoon confronts Huang on a live stream to demand the truth, but Huang manipulates her audience into believing Yoon is terrorizing her, causing Yoon to withdraw in fear. Because it is an all-girls school, the committee deploys Reem, a tough former military colleague of Jin, as a student teacher. Reem immediately crushes Huang's phone with her foot, asserts her authority, and forces the chaotic class into strict physical training on the field.
Huang temporarily changes tactics by acting obedient and visiting Yoon's office to manipulate her emotions, even asking Yoon to do a live stream protesting Reem's presence. Jin intervenes, sharing the tragedy of his late fiancé with Yoon and revealing that the other students actually support her, but are too afraid of Huang to speak up. Restoring her confidence, Yoon returns to the classroom and firmly disciplines Huang. Concurrently, Bong hacks Huang's social media accounts, deletes the edited videos, and uploads the original unedited footage, proving her lies about the vice principal. Exposed and hysterical, Huang attacks Yoon at her home with a sharp tool. Yoon accidentally falls from the balcony during the struggle, but Jin catches her just in time while Reem subdues Huang. A member of parliament discovers that the murdered teacher was the minister's daughter and accuses Jin of using the committee for personal vendettas, causing public doubt. Despite the backlash, the minister directs the team to a prestigious school where a top student named Park struck his highly respected teacher, Kong. While Jin initially views Kong as a victim, Reem interviews Park and uncovers a darker reality. Kong operates an expensive private academy. Because Park's family could not afford it, Kong deliberately ruined Park's academic standing, shut down his parents' restaurant, and turned the faculty against him. Reem confronts Jin about his perceived bias against students, unaware that Jin has already sent Bong to investigate Kong's academy. Jin uncovers that Kong previously broke another student named Win for similar reasons. On exam day, Jin catches Kong attempting to manipulate the exam papers, revealing that Park had already distributed Kong's stolen answer keys to expose the fraud. Jin plays a recorded conversation proving Kong took bribes for medical school admissions, resulting in the exposure of Kong and the corrupt parents. The team next assists a depressed elementary school teacher named Cho, who is on the verge of ending her life in her classroom due to severe harassment from a student's mother. The mother used a parent-teacher app to micromanage and terrorize Cho, escalated the harassment on social media, and filed a false child abuse lawsuit after her son Eugene violently attacked a classmate. The school principal refused to help, leaving Cho to face intense police interrogations alone. Reem interrupts Cho's suicide attempt under the guise of a psychological test and coordinates with Cho's mother to place Cho on mandatory medical leave. Jin takes over the classroom and subjects Eugene's mother to the same torment, calling her incessantly with absurd questions until she storms into the school. Jin also visits her husband's workplace, loudly kneeling to mockingly apologize until the husband loses his temper and exposes his aggressive nature to his colleagues. Jin then files a child abuse report against the mother based on injuries found on Eugene. Defeated and desperate, the mother rushes to the school to confront Cho, but finds her son happily playing with and hugging Cho, prompting the mother to beg for forgiveness. Later, Jin, Bong, and Reem encounter a group of underage middle school students stealing a car while carrying a semi-conscious girl named ONG. Reem stops the vehicle by throwing a bicycle under the tire. At the police station, the minors mock the law, knowing juvenile regulations protect them from severe sentences. The minister assigns this case to the committee. Reem finds ONG locked inside a school locker, bruised and holding illegal pills. ONG confesses that the gang leader, Kim, hooked her on weight loss pills and forced her to distribute drugs to pay her debt. Jin arranges for the underage gang to spend time in a real prison to show them their future. When the parents try to defend their children over the 50 million won drug ring, Wenji confronts them, and the minister orders the gang sent to a juvenile detention center. In prison, an inmate threatens Kim to protect their drug supplier, but the student who killed Jin's fiancée, steps in and shields Kim from a weapon strike, claiming he has reformed. A distraught father contacts the minister regarding his son Hyun, who fled after racking up massive debts from an illegal school gambling ring. Bong goes undercover to investigate, but briefly succumbs to the addiction and accumulates debts himself. Jin reassures him that this helps draw out the syndicate, while Reem tracks their headquarters, where students are forced to run phishing scams to pay off debts. Jin captures and beats the syndicate leader before handing him over to the police, and Hyun is safely reunited with his father. Their next case involves elite students in a medical prep class, where a top student named Jung faints from an illness dismissed by his obsessive mother, who forces him to use stimulants. Jin orders mandatory drug tests, exposing widespread stimulant abuse among the students. In prison, the corrupt member of parliament offers to help secure an early release in exchange for his political cooperation. Jung's mother continues her intense emotional blackmail, driving her son to near collapse, but Jin intervenes by hospitalizing Jung under Reem's protection and placing the mother under house arrest. Bong, who survived a similar upbringing, helps Jung find his own path. Is released on good behavior and returns to school, immediately filing a false bullying report on behalf of a student named Ko to manipulate public opinion against the committee. Jin investigates and discovers that Ko is actually being exploited by his peers, who use his internet hotspot and frame him for financial scams. When a bully named Shin sues Ko for defamation, Reem goes undercover to hack Shin's phone, reversing the scam until the bullies confess. Realizing he was used by Shin confronts him on the roof, but pushes him off the building to frame the committee for murder. Then meets the corrupt member of parliament, offering a recording to destroy the committee's reputation. Jin corners who proudly admits he killed Choi simply because she discovered his drug stash and tried to guide him. Enraged, Jin beats publicly, leading to the temporary suspension of the committee. Returns to dealing pills to students, prompting the minister to order emergency searches of student belongings. Jin corners before he can escape. Though stabs Jin and threatens the surrounding students, Reem arrives to secure the area. Jin restrains his anger, refrains from killing and hands him over to the authorities, finally achieving lawful justice for his fiancée. Reem and Bong develop romantic feelings for each other, and the committee is officially established as a permanent entity to eradicate school bullying.